Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Dina and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And as always, we can't really talk yarn without me having my faithful mug of tea. And today this tea is just a classic Earl Grey, so it's a lovely black tea with a flavor of a bergamot. Yeah, comfy tea, I would say. I have to say it's still warm, and I was slightly debating should I take a tea today or not, because it's hot. It's gonna get very warm here today, especially for a place that's not having any air conditioning. They are saying that the temperatures will soar towards like a 29-30 degrees Celsius. In Fahrenheit, that's towards the 90s actually, like, you know, end 80s, begin 90s. It's just, and it's like last night was really humid here. Like even both me, but also my partner was kind of affected by it and saying like, it's really like, you know, it's like there's extra pressure feeling, everything is more like, ugh, and it's what it is. We're not here to talk about the weather, but it is sunny. I guess that's the positive side, is the fact that I have finished 2 projects since last time, and I'm rather happy with that actually. I finished my Vary shawl and I finished the snuggle fan. I also have a bunch of projects, where some I progressed okay and some I didn't really at all. But yeah, it's been a really busy week here, honestly, and we'll talk a bit about that later. This is the amount of yarn I have left from the Vary shawl, and I did end up weighing it, and it's not blocked yet. I haven't had the time to block it, but there's 26 grams of yarn left here. When I started the last 2 times 4 repeats, so the last 8 rows, before I started 8 rows ago, I was weighing the amount of yarn I had left. This is the way I do play yarn checking in the safe way. Vary's pattern is a 4-row repeat. I do have a tutorial for the Vary's pattern. It's in the description box down below. Recommend lovely gradient cake yarns for it, because that just makes it look absolutely gorgeous. I started 8 rows ago with 85 grams before I started that row. That was more than I had thought it would be, but okay. And then the following row I weighed off at 57 grams. So that is basically a decrease of 28 grams for a 4-row repeat. But then from 57 I went to 26. And that's like 31. And that means with 26 grams here, I am absolutely 100% unable to do another 4 rows of repeat, unless I had a similar yarn which I could add to it, the exact same copy, which I do, but that wasn't what I intended to use that yarn for. But I would have to use another cake to be able to actually make another 4-row repeat. I think it looks pretty nice as how it is right now, so that's positive. But that is kind of how I do. I basically take it, I weigh it, I make another X repeat as how the pattern says, then I weigh the yarn again. I estimate the amount of yarn used based on the amount you'd left. Can I do another repeat? Then I do, etc. And that's how I usually continue. Normally when I start weighing it, I only have 2 or 3 repeats left of a pattern. But that's my tip as to how you can do a little bit safer yarn checking, instead of being like, that looks like okay, I'll probably be all right. You know, if you're not 100% sure, that's a nice way of doing it. It just requires a weight scale that's reasonably accurate. A good scale could be a kitchen scale. I have a digital kitchen scale, and it weighs in grams. It also weighs in ounces and milliliters and all those sorts of things, but I just use the gram function because that is what I'm used to as of the metric scale. But yeah, so there is not enough left here to make a repeat, but I could theoretically, I haven't decided what I'm going to use the remainder of yet. Will I make fringes or tassels, or will I just let it be and put this into my yarn stash of scrap yarns? I do have a little stash of diverse scrap yarns laying. But that's not showing you the actual project, because here it is. Here it is in all its glory, and let's see how well that I will be able to show it. actually not, because it's bigger than the screen. In the beginning I hadn't the feeling that it would get so big at all, but now sitting with it, it's much bigger than I thought it would be. And somehow I just always get surprised, and I don't know how that happens, right? But this is a gradient. We start here at the center, all the way here. And it's gonna be so much nicer when it's blocked, that's for sure. But still, I still think it's a nice drape and gradient. And of course, the sad thing is it's warm today, but you know, it matches even the shirt that I have on. So one could argue for something like this, isn't it? Like, I love these colors. It's like warm and fresh, summery. It's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. And it's 100% soft cotton. I made this from a Stanley cake of the Stanley candy. I don't remember the colorway though, right now, what number it had. But it's a Stanley candy cake, so that is 280 grams of cake. So that would be 9 point some odd ounces to 900 meters of yarn, which is like 980-ish yards. But yeah, here we are. Quite happy, quite happy. But I will have to take it off because it's not super warm in here yet, but it will be. And the more I will sit with this, the quicker I will get it warm as well. But I am really pleased with this. And if I managed, because I haven't taken the photo yet for the thumbnail for this video, but if I do manage, you should see some of this in this thumbnail. Maybe not nicely blocked as could be, but there will be some of it for sure. The other thing that I did finish this week is the Snuggle Fan. And the Snuggle Fan is a hobby-free pattern. I did use a different yarn. I used the Linda Hobby Velvet Locks. That yarn is very similar to Hobby's Baby Snuggle yarn, or they do have a few other yarns. It's a chenille yarn. Yarn spec wise, weight and length, etc. Yardage on the yarns are the same. So therefore, I felt that that was an okay, safe bet to do, and I'm pretty okay with the results here. We have here the Snuggle Fan, little tail, but I really like how it looks here. The only downside here of the Snuggle Fan, and you can see I ended up using the purple eyes. The only downside on this Snuggle Fan is my partner thinks this isn't an elephant. He thinks it's a mouse because of the big ears, I think. And for some reason he has this idea it's a mouse. And I'm like, but it has this long trunk. Like, how can that be a mouse? But his guess were that it was a mouse. So I fail. But I still think it's very cute. Now I have something laying if somebody gets a girl, I guess, as a gift. Or whatever happens with it. I still want to make it in light blue because I have that yarn as well. So I have one for a girl and one for a boy laying around. And it's still kind of cute. Got the legs sewn on. I'm not sure if that could have been done better, but how the pattern is listed and everything, I think that's probably the best it could be. I am sort of keen to figure out if that could have been done differently, but if that's the case, then this whole section will have had to be done differently, which is a bit more challenging actually. Yeah, not like this. You would have to have worked in the length, but then the head is different. So that's probably where it ends up. Who knows, maybe I'll try something else out one day. But I'm pretty happy with the outcome. Snuggle Fan, here we go. I have made one. Easy to follow pattern. The only thing is I wish was for the sewing instructions to be slightly ever more descriptive as around the regions where they want you to sew on legs and ears. Now it was more like a guesswork. I pinned them on and I was like, does it look okay here? Sometimes in some patterns, I like really that they say somewhere between row, let's say 5 and 7 add ears, which gives you the freedom to do a little bit, but you're still reasonably close to the designer's intent. I kind of like when those descriptions are there, especially for patterns where I'm not 100% sure where the intent is. But yeah, so snuggle fan, I have one and I'm happy. At least always will have one for a future gift, I would say. So yeah, that's nice. Then we from here on go on to all the projects that I currently have running. And given the fact that I finished 2, I am left with, I just looked around myself, 4. Which is a normal level of projects I've been doing, but I've also not had the time to do as much on these projects as I thought I would. So with that taken in mind, I did finish up. It took longer to sew the snuggle fan together than I thought it would. And I did finish up the Varishal. That did take some time. But this week, I've also spent time to finalize my settlement agreement with my current employer, which means that I will officially now, because I signed it, be unemployed by the end of October. I think I've gotten a good settlement agreement for what it is. I think it's also better to sign it to avoid all the hassle of them having to officially let me go, and there's like lots of courts and jurisdiction stuff on it. So I think I've gotten a good agreement. I'm reasonably happy with it. And yeah, it's just basically stating the terms that I will leave the company, what I'm entitled to, etc. And I did negotiate in some extra free time or free hours where I basically will get paid but don't have to work. So I wouldn't call it vacation because it's not directly vacation. But you can consider it more like a period where I can maybe look for a new job without having to actually also be at work that day. Plus, I do have a bunch of vacation days I need to hold before then. So, and there is a clause also stating that I can apply for new jobs as long as I give a 14-day notice, but this right I can first exercise from 1st of September and onwards. So somewhere between, due to vacations and everything, somewhere between 1st of September and end of September, I will be out of there. I'm fine. And of course, the clause for finding a job still includes me getting all the benefits until the official end date, which is at the end of October. Well, actually, technically it's 1st of November, but and from 1st of November, I should be gone from the company's payroll. I'm happy. I'm looking forward to do something new. I've been really clear that while I would like a new job, because obviously an income is nice to pay for life and things, I'm not desperate to take the first and best job out there, or so to say, the first available job out there. I think that's better to say. Which means that I do have some time to find the right job. So it might be that I will be in the limbo for a bit until I find the right place and the right location to go. Because what's important for me is that I enjoy doing what I do, because it's so many hours during your daily life that if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. Unless you have to financially seen. Anyhow, I have found my next project right here, which is my mosaic blanket from a Fleur. Fleur is designed by Anke Wintermans, and Anke Wintermans is a Dutch designer, and I did not reach to proceed anything on Fleur at all. I hope I might have a bit of time before next week's Yarn Talk, because obviously my project's decreased a bit. Yeah, I do have a few new projects going, but Fleur is not progressed, but it's still gorgeous how it is, and I am still looking forward to progress. And of course, should I end not finding the right job, then I have more time to actually progress on this. And I do apologize if there's a little bit of background noises here, because people are apparently starting to do some homeworks, improvements, or something like that. Maybe you couldn't hear it, but anyhow, it's Fleur. I love how this looks. And I love that in the beginning, I thought it was going to be so messy on the back side. And then after doing it and getting to this stage, I'm realizing actually the back side is quite neat and clean. I have to say it's really worked out much cleaner than I would think. And it is basically just a negative of what's going on here. The only thing you do notice on the back side is the corner here where I drag the yarns up. But yeah, so this is round 35 from center out. I'm working around, and in 12 rows I'll change color. So I have another 11 rows left of this burgundy colorway, and then the cream will stay when I go into this brighter red. So really looking forward to the color change. I hope that that's not gonna take as long as it has for doing this project, but of course, as I said, there is a likelihood I might have a bit more time soon. That's okay, that's okay. Let's see, we have 3 projects left, and the next project I have is my firefly sweater. I have a little note here saying how far and how much I need to do. And I am still, this is quite disturbing. Why are they deciding to make noises today? I guess that's just how it is. I did finish the front piece of it. I will need to block this before sewing it together and so on, but I'm just waiting on so I can block it all in one go, I guess. This is the front piece, as you can see here. And the back piece is kind of the same copy in the sense of they're equally wide, but it's only a few stitches down, so it's not a full like a V shape like this one, but only a little bit. Actually, you can see it a bit. Like here we have it, and I am missing another 8 rows, and then the back panel is complete. The firefly sweater here I only work on during my morning tea lives on Wednesday mornings. So I did another 2 rows this Wednesday, and following Wednesday, unless anything happens and comes up, I'll be doing another 2 rows, etc. That fits with a nice morning live session. But yeah, everything's up to change in the future. But right now, that is what I do on the Wednesdays, and it works out nicely for those that's insomniac and want to hang out with me, or those that's down under and having a good afternoon coffee, or those in Europe just checking in before heading to their own works and whatnot. This is the yarn I'm using for the firefly sweater. It is Lamy yarns. They are looking like mohair yarns, but they are not mohairs, or kid silk for that sense. They are 100% synthetic yarn. It's a combination of acrylic and polyamide, and yet it has a fluffy texture. Holding them together gives this gorgeous, gorgeous sort of fabric. Blue and greens. Yeah, once the back piece is done, I will have to look into how I will be making the sleeves. And then once those are done, it's blocking and sewing together. So yeah, this winter I should technically have a new sweater, I hope. Which I'm pretty happy with the progress. And I'm cool because obviously it's summer right now. I don't need a sweater right here, right now, so I'm fine with it first being done towards the autumn. Absolutely, 100% fine. And I have other things that I can use this winter that I made last spring as well, like the inlines punch I made, which was absolutely gorgeous. I spoke about that in quite some yarn talks ago. 100% love the outcome of that. I'm looking forward to use that one this upcoming winter to help keep my shoulders and arms warm, because I am quite of a chilly person. If it's not really warm outside, I easily get it cold. That's just how I am. Yeah, then we have 2 projects left to discuss as of this yarn talk video. The next pattern is the Ichor shawl. And the Ichor shawl is made by KAME Crochet, who is a Dutch designer. Not Dutch, Hungarian designer, sorry. Christina is a Hungarian designer, makes some absolutely gorgeous works. Originally, I made this pattern as a Christmas scarf in the Hobby Universe Christmas. Absolutely gorgeous, worked up. But I think this cake will make an absolutely gorgeous natural version of this pattern because, and you can see it much better here now when I made a few more rows since last time, that we do have these small Christmas trees coming up. It will look so much better once blocked. I changed color into this lighter browns, and in a very, very short amount of time, because I am working from the outside of the cake, but you can see here that I only have a few left, and then it's gonna get even brighter. And this, my friends, is how it's gonna be looking like once it's done. Once it's done. I'm having to working up this whole cake into this. This is my new couch on the go project, at least, because it is, the reason for that, of course, is obviously the fact that it is a wonderful, easy going pattern, and it is a 6-row repeat to create these. It's a 6-row repeat. I'm really looking forward to it, and I chose to go from the outside of the cake because, as you can see here, the top of the trees turns up, and therefore it seems logic that the trunks and the browns and the greens will come later on. Yeah, I think it's gonna be really, really nice. I like how this is working up so far. I definitely do. I'm not unsatisfied or unhappy with it at all. It's just, yeah, it's nice and wonderful. And of course, if you haven't done it yet, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you do love yarn and talking about yarns, etc. Hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you get notified whenever I do post new videos. I tend to do yarn talks on Fridays. So far we have the Sort My Stash series on Mondays. It could also be yarn hauls and other things. And Wednesdays mornings, in my time at least, we do have some lives. More plans for projects coming up. More plans for tutorials. More plans for many things, actually. And I hope my time frees up for it. A while ago, I had a live in the beginning of July. And actually in the beginning, I had... I forgot to say, for the iCrochet, I'm using my 3.5mm crochet hook. The yarn is not Hobbies. It's similar to Hobbies Sultan's Locks. The yarn for the iCrochet is made in Yarn Arts Rose Garden. What I want to say is the next project that I am working on is decided by you guys in the community. Because first I put up a poll for my members only, where they could help choose my next project. I had a tie. Actually, I have a 3-way tie. So I brought those 3-way tie choices to my live and said, hey guys, it has to be this, this, and this. You are now on this live, and you now have the opportunity to help influence me on what project I'm gonna make next. And the final outcome of this was that I was to do the Thoughts of Ireland. The Thoughts of Ireland shawl is it's a circular shawl worked top down. It's by Drops Design, which means that it's gonna be horrendous pattern to read through. I'll have to say, so far it's going better than I thought it would. Not that I've done much yet though, because I finished the first 1, 2, 3, 4 charts of repeats, and that's where we are at. What should we call this except a mini shawl? It would maybe work for a Barbie doll. But yeah, here we have it. Started center. Maybe I could also put it on the back side, but I don't know if that makes a better showing. And as I said, it's circular, so it will become more circular. I am to start the next, and I'm not sure what that's going to be. I haven't looked into that yet. This is just where I had the time to get through with the time I've had available this week. and I'm fine with it. It's all made in drop yarns, and this is made in the drops alpaca. This is also the yarn suggested in the pattern. It's even the yarn that was used for the pattern design. 100% alpaca. This is the skein. I am working from the outside of the skein. That seems to work out for me, at least. Here we have a label, but I do have, because I have a bag here of the remaining, and it's expected that you need 5 skeins of this drops alpaca mix, which is an all-time favorite. It has this lovely cute alpaca logo, right? 100% alpaca it is. Drops design. It's the colorway 7238, so 7238. It's the color they name Olive, and it is, as you can see, this gorgeous green, but slightly ever heathered to yellows, and it's really it feels super soft. I have to say, when crocheting with this, it's also a reasonably lively yarn. So it's not like your regular cotton yarn to crochet with, for sure. It's a little bit living or active. They recommend 3mm needles. The pattern says, I think, 3.5, but it has a gauge you need to follow. I'm doing a 3.25mm hook. They are 50-gram skeins, these, so 1.8 ounces to 67 meters. So that is 183 yards, and I said 100% alpaca. So this is one of the thinnest yards. So this is like a fingering weight, sport weight yarn, quite thin. You can actually easily see that if I take this, because I have one rowing here. This is us compared to my finger. I don't have the biggest fingers either. If it helps, we can also do a comparison with my, well, it's upside down, so I should actually do it like this, I guess. With my 3.25mm crochet hook. Well, now you can't see that either, because now I'm covering for the text. But here we are. But it's a gorgeous yarn to work with. I hope it's gonna be as soft as it feels here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. 100% alpaca. It's gonna be amazing. And once I'm done with that, we'll find a new drops project that I should work on together with you guys. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. There are more things coming up. Obviously, there are many more things in real life, which keeps me busy as well. And therefore, I might seem a little bit here and there these weeks. And I think that's pretty understandable. It's been a rather stressful. Also, one of the reasons is the fact that the company I work for is getting taken over, and I need to help with some settlements of final agreements compared to other employees and so on. And you know, I'm fine with it. It's a task that I accepted about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. But the fact that I can help people is something that I really enjoy. Anyhow, I think we got to an end here. I got everything talked about. I don't have any other projects laying that's saying, hey, you missed me. But I might start a new one. You never know. But it could also be that I just get good grip on my new Ireland shawl, Thoughts of Ireland shawl, and my blanket. And then, of course, we are ready to go on to the couch and transportation mode with the lovely Icro shawl here in the coming weeks. It has replaced the Vary shawl as my couch project. Thank you for hanging around with me. It was absolutely wonderful to talk about the process I've made the past week. And I will see you back on Monday for another Sort My Stash 2024 video. And that will be part 3 of my iSharn stash. Wednesday, if everything goes right, I should be back with another live. And then, of course, on Friday, I'll be back with a new yarn talk video. Take care and happy crafting. Bye.